Hi, you're watching Martinis with Marissa. I'm your host, Marissa Bors, and with me today I have Kenny Leibe in Boston. Hi, Kenny.
Good eye.
Cheers. hmm Okay, Kenny. So you're up in Boston. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? So we know each other because why?
Because the internet. One day, uh, one day long ago, I started a Facebook group with L'Oreal Crowder for our adoption agency, and there's like three of us that were in it for a very long time, and then randomly a bunch of people started joining. One of them was you, and you started messaging me, and you're like, "Hey, I think I'm from the same place as you," and I was like, "Well, maybe you are." And you did. We were both from the international. No, yeah,
Yes,
International Alliance for
International
Children.
Alliance for Children, yes.
Yeah,
Which was out of New Milford, Connecticut,
New Milford, Connecticut. Yeah,
it no longer exists, correct?
nope.
Right.
They closed in '99, 2000, sometime
Yeah, so
around
a
there.
while now. But so we were both born in the Philippines. I was
Yep.
born in Davao. You were born in.
Manila in Luneta Park, also known as Jose Rizal Park. Um, then I was brought to the Philippine General Hospital.
hmm
I visited both this past November.
Yeah, so you just went back to the Philippines. Now this was your first time back, right?
Yep, since 1984.
Great. And what else did you? Who did you stay with? I mean, what did you do? How long was the trip?
Um, well, the trip was kind of completely, well, not completely on a whim. I planned on doing a trip to the Philippines before I turned 30,
hmm
which I turned 30 in January. But I wanted to go to the Philippines before I turned 30, so that was kind of like, I'm just going to do it. I had a friend that was studying in Boston for several years that moved back.
hmm
Her family is in the Philippines. So I kind of just emailed her one day in September and said, "Hey, if I bought tickets at the end of the week, that time that you told me I could stay with you, is that still cool?"
So while you were in the Philippines, you went to Manila. You went other places.
I went to Manila. I stayed in Alabang, Bang. I'm not sure how you say it.
I would help you butcher it, but I'm just gonna say I don't
My friend lived there. It's kind of a slightly more affluent area of Manila. But we actually, from there, she brought me to some of the really rich areas. And I
know.
was like, mansions. I was like, wow. Um, but yeah, I also spent time in Makati, Quezon City,
hmm
Pasig, uh, Subic Bay, Baguio, which is up north in the mountains, where I hung out with famous filmmaker Kidlat Tahimik.
Very cool.
Um,
And yeah, so you said you met a filmmaker, but you have a funny story of how you actually met him the first time.
this guy's performing at Harvard, and they're showing his films or whatever. And then they didn't even end up going, none of them.
hmm
So I just went to this thing, and then I was outside, and this old Filipino-looking guy, hippie-looking guy with dreads and clothes that looks like he made them himself, comes up to me, starts talking. I'm looking at some of the artwork displayed, and it looked pretty neat. And he just starts talking to me about stuff. He was asking me, are you Filipino?" And I was like, "Yeah, but I don't speak the language. I don't know anything really." And he was like, "Oh," and he was just like, "Oh," and it's like, "It's never too late to learn something." And then he walked away, and then I walked inside the movie thing, and then they were announcing, "No, we'd like to present Kidlat Tahimik," and then the little hippie looking guy came up, and then I was it's like, "That's the guy I was just talking to."
Very
So
cool.
he became my friend. We went out for coffee and pizza, and he basically said, "I mean, if I come out to the Philippines, call him." So I did. I was like, "Hey, guy, I'm out here now." The guy from Boston.
What is it that you do for work, Kenny?
Um, I wear fancy jackets like this and sit at home and drink IHOP.
I'm a bit confused with the blazer and the beanie and the green t-shirt, but I'm loving it. I'm digging your
Um, well, the Blazers because you told me I needed to look fancy.
style. Well played, sir.
The hat is so I'm not boasting about my luscious locks, as you saw before. And the green shirt is what I wore to work today.
And where
When
did
I
you
worked
work?
I work at a museum, a little museum called the Museum of Fine Arts, Boston.
I've heard of it, I think.
Yeah, some people have. I do database programming. I'm actually a database manager.
Very nice. And how did you get this job?
I had a job fair with an animation resume because I was trying to be an animator at one point in my life. I'm not that great at it, but I'm better at programming, apparently.
A few random questions for you. Yeah, you're looking at me all confused because this is like the fourth go round with this interview.
Yeah, no, this is probably more than four.
Okay,
Are
probably.
you sure this one's recording?
I am positive this one's
You
recorded.
sure? You're gonna be like,
Oh,
"Oh,
I
Kenny,
just,
we're gonna have to do this again," or is this just excuses to talk to me?
I just like talking to
I'm
you.
I'm okay with it if it's excuses to talk to me too. I
Okay.
don't mind talking to you. You know.
Ah, good. Thanks. I
Yeah.
always have a good time talking to you.
Okay, good.
Okay, you
Go
ready?
ahead.
Finish this sentence. You're never fully dressed without a. You're never fully dressed without a. Try and keep it PG here, okay?
PG.
All right, PG
Um,
13.
I'm never fully dressed without um a hat. No, I don't always wear hats. I don't even know. I don't know. Underwear.
I hope so. Okay,
Mm,
good. All
that's
right.
probably like that's kind of a boring answer. I don't really think I have any accessories that have like accentuate my lifestyle or my being. I
Okay.
usually just put on what's there and whatever I think is clean. I
Okay,
have
that's a good one. Whatever
yeah,
it
I have a bin in my room of all my clean clothes. And then I have the floor, which is my dirty clothes. And then I reach my hand into the clean basket, smell it to make sure it is clean, and put it on.
is. And by the way, ladies, he's single. So
Yeah.
if you
If
like
if
anything
you can't tell,
his
I'm
number
not
is
sure if I'm selling myself here, am I?
if we were to open your refrigerator right now, what would we find?
Do you want to see?
Yes, can you bring your computer?
Yeah.
Glorious.
I'm
Oh my
kind
god.
of embarrassed. I don't have a lot of things in there. Is this Filipino money right here? If
Let's
you can
see.
see.
Show us.
See on the fridge? Can you see the fridge?
Yeah, it's just blurry.
This? That's
How much is it?
that's 50, 100, 250 pesos,
And
Filipino
what is that?
pesos.
What's that
That's
say?
probably the equivalent of $3. No, $4. Okay, so I can show you my refrigerator here.
What do we have here?
So my friend gave me a bunch of yogurt,
Mm-hmm.
free yogurt. I have some Newcastle, some milk, an
Wait, I'm
old
only seeing the top. You gotta scroll down. There you go.
there's milk and a thing of coffee I should probably throw away. There's some eggs, and oh, there's some cake that's probably old that I should also throw away. There's eggs. See that?
How often do you eat at home, Kenny?
Um, maybe 4 times a week. Here's my There's some wine that I don't even drink wine that much.
I know.
There's some wine. There's some buffalo sauce. Right here, I like buffalo sauce.
That'll go nicely with the cake that you should throw away.
Um, and yeah, that's my refrigerator. My freezer is even less impressive. Actually, if you want to look at my nothing.
You have nothing in there? Oh my goodness. My freezer would be full. You're in Boston. Where in Boston? Because I know there's different parts. Why don't we try and
Uh,
explain a little bit where you are?
I live in Brighton, right on the Watertown and Newton border.
Got it.
Right
So
up the.
you were very close to the Watertown shootings, correct?
Yeah, I mean, like, I'd say within a mile and a half or so. Like, I could hear the sirens and stuff from my back door and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When we had the lockdown, we were like not supposed to leave the building or go outside or anything like that.
Yeah.
And when all this stuff was on TV, I couldn't. I could mute it and hear all the sirens and helicopters outside, which is kind of creepy. But
Yeah.
I
And
just
now is life back to normal for you up there?
for the most part, I mean, I think that week was just kind of chaotic in general. I had been gone for the week before that, and I just kind of came back, and then everything just it was crazy. And then I had to go to work, and then that was kind of just being in Boston was kind of. I work probably like less than a mile from the actual bombings.
Right.
Um, so yeah, just going around town and seeing like a bunch of military and tanks and
It must not have felt like Boston. I mean, I'm from Boston,
it would
so
seem like a movie, to be honest. Like watching stuff on TV, like like things that you'd go by every day with like the news cameras and news. It was just kind of weird, and just knowing a lot of people that were like. Luckily, I didn't know anyone that was physically hurt, but I know a lot of people that were really close. That have some people that have actual footage of the thing happening, and it's kind of crazy. Like I don't even know how many, probably hundreds of stories of people that were, well, I was standing right there and then I decided to move, or I was going to go there, but then I decided to stay where I was because
yeah.
multitude of reasons. And it's just kind of crazy for a day to actually like be calling friends to make sure they're okay.
I know
And
that they turned off the cell service, so 'cause
but
I
yeah,
know.
they kind of jammed the cell service in downtown, but I was on the outskirts, so I was kind of okay, but it was yeah, it was kind of crazy. I helped a friend go through. My friend that was at the finish line was taking photos, and I was helping her go through some of her photos to send to the FBI actually, and they were pretty heavy. Yeah, it just showed the explosion, showed the chaos, showed fear, showed all the gore, showed it was pretty heavy.
There's a story about bribing a police officer in the Philippines. Yes.
So actually, when I was in the Philippines, we were going to visit ICAB, the Inter-Country Adoption Board, and my friend that I was staying with, she was super accommodating. So she was driving me to this place, which is in Quezon City. Which to be honest, if I was left to my own devices, I had no idea. I would have had no idea how I would have found any of these places.
Right.
But anyway, so she was trying to find this place, and we ended up driving in the wrong lane, and she was driving. She ended up driving in a bus lane, and then the cop pulled us over, and then we're talking. I wish I had this on video, but I was afraid of getting my camera taken away.
Oh.
So but all I understood, they were talking in Tagalog, and all I heard is the only thing I understood was my friend going, can we just talk about this? Something, something, something. Let's just talk about this. Something, something, something. Let's just talk about this, please. And the next thing we know, she's like, Kenny, do you have 500 pesos? And she took out 500 pesos, and we handed it to him, and then we
Wait,
were,
if 500 pesos, and that's the equivalent to
500 pesos, probably about the equivalent to uh, maybe like $12, maybe.
since so you bribed a cop for $12.
Probably about the equivalent of $20. Between the two of us, we paid him probably about $20, and we were on our way. And that's something off my bucket list.
Yeah.
Uh,
Nice. Nice.
probably shouldn't do
Better
that.
country.
Probably shouldn't do that in this country.
No, never. You were on your way to ICAB. Why were you on your way to ICAB?
To talk about. So they told me that I might possibly be meeting family when I was there.
Mhm.
So yeah, let me preface this with a week before I went to the Philippines, I got an email saying blah blah blah. We might have made contact with your first cousins or something crazy like that. It's kind of like a head trip in itself. So they were all like, "Do you want to meet them? If it's possible, do you want to meet them?" So it took me a couple days to think about it, but I said, "Yeah,
Mhm.
I'd like to meet them if I can." So I was kind of going on kind of under the assumption that I was going to end up meeting someone this trip, which was kind of weird.
Mhm.
Like I didn't want it to be my full trip, but I didn't want it to be. I
Missed.
didn't want to turn up the opportunity. But then it turns out they still need to talk to more people. I don't even know all the details, but it's. Um, Basically, they think I'm related to this family. I'm not sure how they think I'm related to this family, but I know I'm related to this other family, the Masankai family. Uh, because my biological mother's was married but separated, so the
Okay.
name that I originally had might not even be my like I might not be related to that last name by blood at all.
Okay, so what name were you born with?
I was original Leo Medina,
Okay.
and then my mother's name was Remy Medina, but they told me that she was married but separated. Then they said the first cousins, the Masankai, Mr. and Mrs. Masankai, which I have no idea how I'm related to these people. Like, is this like her sister, her brother? Did she have an affair with someone in that family?
It's like a soap opera
Yeah,
background.
I have no idea. So they were kind of like, yeah. She said that she worked. Remy Medina worked for the hair salon owned by the Masankai family, and then they they think that they're the ones that brought her to the hospital, and then the rest is I was just left at the hospital.
Got it.
Now I'm here. Hey, you see my scar?
I do. What happened?
I did a flip on my bike when I was a child,
Mm-hmm.
and I landed on my face.
Oh, well,
And
good
this
thing.
is why my face looks like this today.
Well, good thing your face was there to catch your fall.
Yeah, I know.
Uh,
I didn't want to end up growing up pretty or anything. So this is another story on my bike. Probably about 2 years after I did the flip on my bike.
uh-huh.
I was in the emergency room and all that. I had a concussion, yada yada yada. So so 2 years later, I decided that my mom's like, "Can you go bring this over to your aunt's house?" My aunt lived like 4 houses down. She's like, and I remember saying, "Don't take your bike." And I was like, "Screw you, mom! I'm taking my bike." So I
Marilyn,
took
are you
my
listening?
so I took my well she knows the rest of the story. So
I know.
so I took my bike over to my aunt's house, dropped off the package or whatever I was supposed to give her,
Mhm.
came back, and I don't know how. Well, I do know how, but I decided that I didn't need to use brakes going down my driveway. I don't know why I thought that was. I just decided that I'm not going to use brakes going down the driveway because you don't need brakes.
Yeah.
So I somehow went through the back window on my bike. So I just like hit the curb on the bottom step and just flew through the window.
Oh my.
So I'm sitting on the inside looking like sitting in a pile of glass, and my thoughts are like, oh, I'm in so much trouble for breaking the window.
Not. I'm probably in pain right now.
No, I didn't even realize this part yet. So I'm like tiptoeing upstairs, like, and I remember turning around the corner. My parents are at the kitchen table, and I was kind of like, I kind of broke the window.
I kind of. Either you did or you didn't, son.
Yeah, but my mom just looks at me and gasps.
Why? Are you like profusely bleeding?
Yeah. So
Uh,
I get the reaction from her is like, oh God, something terrible has happened. So I like put my hand on my face and I look at it and just covered in blood,
oh my
and I
god.
just started screaming.
Yeah. Wait. How old are you?
I'm probably like 8 then, 7
Goodness.
maybe. Well,
Yeah.
I actually only had like
Yada yada yada.
I only had like a gash probably like that big on my head. Blood just gushing out of my face.
Oh my
I
goodness.
wish we had cameras. I wish I had digital cameras then, because I would have looked badass.
At 8 years old, everybody
Yeah.
had ass.
And then my parents wouldn't buy me a bike again.
I don't know why.
Well, yeah, they
Or
would buy me musical instruments instead, because that got me into less trouble, I think.
you've been watching Martinis with Marissa. I'd like to thank
And
Kenny
Kenny,
Boston for sitting and talking with us. Land of Gazillion Adoptees Magazine thanks you as well. And we can't wait to, maybe check in on you in a couple of years. See if you're still just,
if I'm still alive,
yeah, just
you
see if you're just hanging out in your
know,
beanie and blazer,
I
which you've taken off
might have some of the legitimate children or something or other.
now. In the Philippines.
Maybe.
So,
I should shoot for other countries, right? That should be the goal.
so, Kenny, thank you very much.
Bye, Marissa.
Bye, Kenny.
can talk to me again when we're not just doing interviews, because
I know. We can just keep doing fake interviews. That'll be fun.
yeah, wow. Why don't we just do video chat more often in general?
We should.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
better be in blazers each time.
I Blazers is my go-to, man. I love them.
Well, maybe we'll coordinate one time, and I'll wear a matching blazer. Do you have a navy blue blazer?
I think one interview we should do a follow-up interview, and I should
Where
dress.
we're dressed as each other?
Yes, done. I'm thinking
Okay.
right around
My
Halloween.
hair is getting a little like almost as long as yours.
Well, no, I can. I'll like do like this thing, and like I'll put a beanie on, and it'll look like yours. See,
I
look.
think in
Yeah,
the summer when I saw you last, my hair was probably closer to yours.
yeah, your hair is pretty long.
Yeah. That's
No.
not my hair used to be down to like my stomach a long time ago.
What? Were you
Oh,
a
can I
were
show you
you
that
a
my
punk
picture
rocker?
real quick? Real
Yeah.
quick.
Were you a punk rocker back in the day?
I don't want to say punk rock. I was
Um,
more into metal. I was into the punk scene kind of. I mean, like I was in the hardcore shows. Okay, I'm sharing you a picture right now.
this
I
one.
need to figure out how. I don't know how to do this. Uh,
I don't
Hangout, share.
Ginger. Oh, yes, I do remember that picture.
That's me, circa 16 years old.
Nice.
Look at that beautiful
Machine
smile.
head.
Look at that beautiful smile.
A little
Winning over.
scary. I'm not gonna lie.
It's not that scary.
Well, you should learn to smile more often. There you go. Do
I've been told that I have dimples, and I don't believe that. So
it again?
I've been told I have dimples, but I don't
No,
believe
I
that.
heard you, but smile. Let's see.
Uh,
Well, if you cover them, I can't see them. I only have one. Look. See that one? I've only got the one side. There's one.
that's not real.
I photoshopped it in.
So you should pimp me out now, Marissa.
Oh, do you want me to give the
If,
shout out that
if,
you're single?
if you want, I mean, you
Okay,
don't
cool.
have to.
Here, fix your hair.
This is not really do anything.
Ladies, if you're looking for a good time in Boston,
Dial 911.
no, dial 555. Just kidding. Kenny is single. Hey, it's cool. You know, he likes Christmas year round. Who
Yeah, I
doesn't
like
love
Christmas.
Christmas
I like
all the time? He'll sing
Santa.
Christmas carols to you.
I'll play you. I'll play you a song.
Let's hear it. What's up?
I don't know how to play guitar.
Play something as a sign off. Wait, play something as I sign off, okay?
What?
Play something as I sign off. Ready? That's Kenny. Sarah makes us. I'd like to sign off and thank you for watching Martinis with Marissa and our very first interview. You're doing an excellent job. Lenny does this song.
That's Slayer.
Gorgeous. So now, Kenny, get some rest, feel better, and we will chat again.
You better.